The night was calm, and the city lights outside Daniel's small apartment window glowed like scattered stars. He had moved to this quiet neighborhood only 3 weeks ago, hoping for some peace after years of working on the crowded orbital station above Earth. Life on the surface felt slow, quiet, and almost too normal, until the day he noticed his new neighbor. She had moved into the apartment next door just 2 days after he arrived. Daniel remembered seeing her for the first time in the hallway, a tall woman with silver blue hair, eyes that shimmered like melted gold, and a calm, almost musical voice. Everyone in the building whispered about her. Some said she was from the colonies on Mars. Others joked she was an alien. Daniel laughed it off, but something about her presence always made him curious. He didn't even know her name. That night, Daniel had gone to bed late. The hum of his apartment's old air filter and the occasional passing sky car lulled him into a deep sleep. His last thought before drifting off was that he should finally introduce himself to the new neighbor tomorrow. But fate decided to do it earlier. In the middle of the night, Daniel woke up to a faint, humming sound. It wasn't his air filter, this was softer, like a vibration in the air itself. Half asleep, he turned his head toward the sound. The soft blue light was spilling from the corner of his room near the door. His brain froze for a second. The light shimmered, forming a tall silhouette, a woman's figure. Then the light faded, revealing his neighbor standing there. She was inside his room. Daniel sat up quickly, his heart pounding. What are you doing here?" he stammered. The woman didn't move. Her eyes, glowing faintly gold in the dark, looked at him calmly. "I did not mean to wake you," she said softly, her voice almost like music. "I needed to make sure you were safe." Daniel blinked. "Safe from what?" She tilted her head slightly, studying him. "There was an energy surge near your apartment," she said after a pause. "It might have been dangerous." Daniel rubbed his eyes, trying to understand. "An energy surge? There's no power plant nearby?" She hesitated. "It's not the kind of energy your sensors can detect," he frowned. "Wait, what does that mean? Who are you, really?" The woman looked down as if deciding whether to answer. Then she sighed, her voice softer. "My name is Sarah. I come from beyond your world." Daniel stared, his sleepiness vanishing completely. "You mean you're actually—" "Yes," she said simply. "I'm not from Earth." For a long moment the room was silent except for the quiet hum of the night outside. Daniel couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had worked in space stations, seen strange technologies, but never met a real alien, and now one was standing in his room. She looked nervous, though. Not dangerous, just unworried. Daniel took a slow breath. "Okay, Sarah, you're an alien. And you came here because you detected energy?" "Yes," she nodded. "It came from your room. I thought you might be in danger." "My room?" Daniel looked around. Nothing seemed unusual. His datapad was charging on the table. His clothes were on the chair, his window was half open. "Are you sure you didn't make a mistake?" Sarah's eyes glowed brighter for a moment. "No mistake. It came from this location exactly." Daniel scratched his head. "That doesn't make sense. He stopped. Then he remembered something. A few hours earlier, while cleaning his work desk, he had found an old metallic shard. He had kept it from the orbital station, a strange fragment he found near a broken satellite. No one could identify it, so he brought it home as a souvenir. He pointed at the drawer where he had placed it. "Could it be that thing?" Sarah moved toward it, her movements graceful and silent. She opened the drawer and lifted the shard carefully. The metal piece began to glow faintly the moment she touched it. A small light pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Her golden eyes widened. "This is not human-made." "I figured as much," Daniel said, trying to keep his voice calm. "Is it dangerous?" She turned to him, serious now. "It's not dangerous. It's a signal beacon." "A beacon? For what?" "For calling ships," she said quietly. "It's from my people." Daniel stared at her, his mind racing. "Your people? You mean someone might come looking for it?" "Yes," she said, setting the shard on the table. "And if they detect it here, they will know a human found it." He swallowed. "Is that bad?" Sarah hesitated before answering. "It could be. My people are not supposed to make contact with humans yet. The rules forbid it. If they think you discovered our technology, they may assume interference. So you broke the rules by coming here?" Her expression softened. "Yes, but I couldn't let them harm an innocent human because of a misunderstanding." Daniel looked at her. This strange, glowing woman standing in his small room, risking her position or even her safety just to protect him. Something in his chest tightened. She wasn't like the stories of distant, cold aliens. She looked human, felt human, just with a spark of something otherworldly. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for helping me." Sarah smiled slightly, the kind of smile that felt both kind and sad. "You don't need to thank me. I just hope I'm not too late." "Too late for what?" Before she could answer, the shard pulsed again, brighter this time, filling the room with blue light. A deep hum shook the air, and the temperature dropped suddenly. Sarah's expression changed to alarm. "They found it," she whispered. "They're scanning the signal." "Scanning? You mean from space?" She nodded quickly, placing her hand on the shard. A thin layer of light spread from her palm, covering the metal. The pulsing slowed, then stopped. The light faded. She looked up at Daniel. "I blocked the signal, but they will know it was interrupted." "So what happens now?" he asked. "They might send a recon drone," she said. "Small, invisible, and programmed to retrieve the beacon." Daniel stood up. "Then we should get rid of it." Sarah shook her head. "If we destroy it, it will confirm that humans interacted with it. The only safe way is for me to take it back." "Take it back where?" She hesitated again. "To orbit," Daniel frowned. "You mean to space?" "Yes." He stared at her, trying to process everything. "You came down here just to protect me, and now you're going back?" Her golden eyes softened. "It's my duty, but how did you even get here?" "You just appeared out of nowhere." She smiled gently. "Your kind would call it teleportation. For us, it's a phase shift between dimensional layers." Daniel let out a shaky laugh. "Of course. That makes perfect sense," he said sarcastically. "You walk through walls." Sarah actually laughed, a quiet melodic sound. "Walls are not always what they seem." For the first time, Daniel saw something in her beyond mystery. Warmth. Humanity, even. She wasn't just some distant being. She cared. As the night grew quieter again, she placed the shard into a small device she carried, a cube that folded in on itself like liquid glass. She turned to leave, but Daniel spoke quickly. "Wait, will I ever see you again?" She paused at the door, looking back. "If fate allows," she said softly. "And if my people don't find out what I've done tonight." And with that, she stepped into the blue light again. The glow swallowed her whole, and then she was gone, like she had never been there. Daniel stood there, staring at the empty space, the faint warmth of her presence still lingering in the air. He didn't know what to think. He only knew one thing for sure. His mysterious, beautiful neighbor wasn't from this world, and this was only the beginning. The morning sunlight spilled across Daniel's room, chasing away the blue shadows of last night's visit. He sat on his bed, staring at the space where Sarah had disappeared. The encounter felt like a dream, too strange, too perfect, too impossible. Yet the shard on his desk, now safely tucked away in its small container, reminded him it had really happened. He tried to focus on breakfast, but his mind kept wandering back to Sarah. Who was she really? Where did she come from? And why had she chosen him, an ordinary human, to protect? The questions crowded his thoughts, making it hard to concentrate. By mid-morning, a soft knock at the door startled him. He jumped, half expecting to see a neighbor, but when he opened it, the hallway was empty. Only a faint shimmer of blue light lingered for a moment near the floor. And then it disappeared. Daniel froze. The memory of last night's glowing figure came back vividly. Then he heard the hum again. Turning quickly, he saw her, Sarah, standing at the foot of his bed, her silver blue hair catching the morning sun, her golden eyes calm but alert. Daniel blinked. "You, again?" She nodded, moving into the room like she had every right to be there. "I needed to check the area before leaving. The shard is safe, but I sensed unusual activity near your apartment. Something, or someone, has been scanning for it." Daniel swallowed nervously. "Scanning? Again? Are they dangerous?" Sarah shook her head. "Not in the way you fear, but humans are fragile. They are cautious about interference. That's why I came back." She paused, studying him. "I trust you will remain calm and not try to interfere with my mission?" "I don't even understand half of it," Daniel admitted, sitting down. "All I know is that you appeared in my room like magic, talked about aliens and spaceships, and now, here you are again. Her lips curved into a small smile. Magic is just science humans have not yet discovered. Daniel laughed softly. Fair enough. But can you explain why Earth is suddenly important? Why would your people even care about a human finding a shard? She looked serious. The shard is not just a piece of technology. It contains a signal, one that can reveal locations across the galaxy. My people study worlds quietly, observing civilizations before we decide if they are ready for contact. Earth was always under observation, but the shard's discovery changed things. Daniel's eyes widened. Wait, you're saying I accidentally activated a signal that could alert your whole species? Sarah nodded. Yes, but that is why I protected you. You had no knowledge, and my rules forbid harm to innocent beings. Daniel leaned back, trying to process. So you're like a guardian? Watching over humans without us even knowing? In a way, she admitted. But it is more than observation. Your kind is unique. Humans have qualities that many species in the galaxy lack: resilience, creativity, empathy. These traits make your race extraordinary, even if you do not see it yet. Daniel frowned. Extraordinary? I'm just me. Sarah's eyes softened. You underestimate yourselves. Even the smallest actions can shape worlds. That is why your survival, your choices, are important. The words resonated with Daniel. He had spent most of his life feeling ordinary, a small human in a vast universe. Yet here was an alien being telling him he mattered. The thought was strange, comforting, and terrifying all at once. Before Daniel could respond, Sarah moved closer and placed a small device on his desk. The cube-shaped device pulsed faintly, emitting soft golden light. This will help you understand, she said. It can communicate directly with you, show you information, and protect you from accidental interference. Daniel picked it up carefully. It felt warm, almost alive in his hands. Communicate? Like thoughts? She nodded. Yes. You will hear it as words, but it is connected to your mind. It is safe. Do not be afraid. Daniel swallowed nervously, then touched it. A gentle voice filled his mind. Daniel, the shard you found is part of a larger network. It connects to distant outposts in the galaxy. Your curiosity saved you, but you must be cautious. He jumped back. Whoa! It talks to me. I can hear it inside my head. Sarah smiled. It is linked to my technology. You are now part of the system, only in a safe way. You do not control it, but it will guide and warn you. Daniel nodded, trying to steady his racing heart. Okay, safe. Got it. But why me? Why now? Sarah's expression softened again. Because humans are ready to witness what lies beyond your world, and because you are observant, curious, and kind. That combination is rare even among intelligent species. Daniel's heart pounded. He wanted to ask so many questions, but part of him also wanted to just stay quiet. Take it all in. He had never imagined his life would suddenly include aliens, glowing shards, and hidden galactic networks. It was overwhelming, but thrilling. Before he could speak again, Sarah's golden eyes widened. She pointed toward the window. Daniel, look. He turned to see a small shimmer in the sky. At first he thought it was a reflection of sunlight on the window, but it moved in ways light should not. A faint silhouette of a craft almost invisible hovered near his apartment building. It was sleek, triangular, with soft lights running along its edges. His pulse quickened. They are here, Sarah whispered. Daniel's stomach tightened. Here? Already? Can they see us? They might, she said, moving between him and the window. But they are cautious. They will scan and leave if no direct signal appears. That is why I need to retrieve the shard tonight. Daniel nodded. Then we should plan. How do we get it back up safely? Sarah paused. You will come with me. Your presence may calm them if they detect a human. But you must stay calm and do exactly as I say. Daniel gulped. Me go with you? Into space? Yes, she said simply. The journey will be short and I will ensure your safety. You will see the galaxy, Daniel, as few humans ever do. He stared at her in disbelief. The ordinary life he had imagined, quiet mornings, work at the office, nights spent reading, was gone. Instead, adventure, danger, and wonder awaited, and standing before him was a being who had entered his life in the most unexpected way, beautiful, mysterious, and kind. All right, he said finally, taking a deep breath. I'll trust you. Let's do it. Syrah's eyes glowed softly in approval. Good. You are brave, Daniel. That is also a rare quality. The hours passed slowly as they prepared. Syrah explained how to hold the shard safely, how to respond to the alien drones, and what signs to watch for. Daniel listened carefully, absorbing every detail. Though his mind was racing, a strange confidence grew inside him. He was part of something bigger now, something beyond Earth. As evening fell, Syrah opened the window. A soft blue glow spilled into the room. She stepped out, levitating smoothly into the night sky. Daniel followed, holding the shard device carefully. The world below seemed smaller, quieter, almost insignificant against the vastness of the stars above. The city lights faded behind them as they ascended. Daniel felt the cool night air on his skin, the thrill of the unknown buzzing in his veins. Around them, the stars sparkled brighter than he had ever seen. In the distance, the small triangular craft appeared again, scanning cautiously. They are observing, Syrah said, her voice calm despite the tension. Do not panic, remain steady. Daniel nodded, gripping the shard device tightly. His heart pounded, but he felt an unexpected calm. Somehow, with Syrah beside him, he knew he could face whatever came next. For the first time, Daniel realized the truth in her earlier words. Humans, ordinary though they seemed, could achieve extraordinary things. All it took was courage, trust, and the willingness to step into the unknown, and tonight he was doing exactly that. The journey had just begun. The stars stretched endlessly around Daniel as he clung to the shard device floating beside Syrah. The earth below looked like a fragile blue marble, spinning silently in the void. Daniel felt both small and immensely important. Somehow, in the grand universe, he had become part of something extraordinary. Syrah glanced at him, her golden eyes reflecting the distant sun. Soon we will reach the relay point, she said. It is a station in orbit, hidden from human detection. There I will return the shard and communicate with my people. Daniel nodded, trying to absorb everything. Wait, you said your people are observing Earth. Why? Why is our planet so important to them? She exhaled softly. A sound almost like a sigh carried through the void. Earth is young, vibrant, and full of potential. Many civilizations exist in the galaxy, but few display the resilience and creativity humans have. Your species has survived natural disasters, internal conflicts, and technological challenges. Yet you continue to grow, adapt, and innovate. That is rare. Daniel's heart swelled at her words. He had never thought of humanity as extraordinary. Every day he had focused on ordinary life, work, and responsibilities. Now an alien being, an actual alien, was telling him humans mattered. It was overwhelming and humbling at the same time. Are you saying we could influence the galaxy? He asked cautiously. Syrah nodded. In ways you cannot yet imagine. Decisions your kind makes, even on a small scale, can ripple outward. Civilizations observe, adapt, and sometimes intervene. My people, we prepare and guide. Earth is at a crossroads, Daniel swallowed. The weight of that responsibility made his pulse quicken. He had always thought of life as individual choices, small personal goals. Now, the survival and future of a planet, and perhaps more, felt linked to him. The triangular scanning craft they had noticed earlier appeared again, hovering silently nearby. Daniel tensed. They're back. Do they see us? They see me, Syrah said calmly. They will not harm you if I remain with you. Stay close and follow my instructions. Daniel nodded, gripping the shard device like a lifeline. The device pulsed gently in response, as if sensing the tension. The craft's surface shimmered, reflecting the stars. A faint hum filled the void. Then slowly it moved closer, scanning in precise patterns. Sarah extended her hand, and a soft barrier of blue light spread around them. The craft's scanning rays struck the barrier and reflected harmlessly into space. "They are cautious," she explained. "They do not attack without cause." Daniel marveled at her calmness. "You really are incredible," he said, his voice trembling with admiration. She glanced at him with a small smile. "I do what I must. And tonight you are helping me do what I must as well." He realized something then. This wasn't just about the shard. This was about trust. Sarah had come into his life, into his room, and risked the consequences of her people's rules, simply because she believed in protecting him. That courage, that selflessness made him feel proud to be human. The relay station came into view, a massive structure floating silently above the Earth's atmosphere. Lights dotted its surface like stars within stars. Sarah moved toward it, the shard device glowing softly in her hands. Daniel followed, his breath catching at the scale and elegance of the station. Inside, the station was vast yet surprisingly serene. Smooth metallic surfaces reflected the faint light from Earth. Panels and holographic displays lit up as Sarah approached a central console. She placed the shard device into a slot, and it expanded into a holographic map of the galaxy, glowing with energy nodes and lines of light connecting distant worlds. Daniel's eyes widened. "This is the network?" Sarah nodded. "Yes. The shard is part of a system that links observers, stations, and monitoring vessels. It is designed to gather information without interfering, until intervention is necessary. You have held a key component, Daniel." He looked down at his hands, then back at the glowing map. "So I actually mattered?" Sarah's golden eyes softened. "You always mattered. Your species, your actions, your choices, they are remarkable. That is why I could not allow harm to come to you. Humans are extraordinary even if they do not know it yet." Daniel felt a surge of pride. For the first time he saw himself and humanity, not as small, ordinary beings, but as something capable of greatness. He could influence events beyond his understanding, and perhaps inspire others in ways he had never imagined. Before he could respond, the holographic map shifted. Red dots appeared near Earth, marking approaching probes. Daniel's heart raced. "Those are drones?" Sarah nodded. "Yes, they are scouts sent to locate the shard. They are fast and precise but predictable." She turned to him. "I need you to stay calm and watch carefully. Your observations will help me redirect them." Daniel focused. He watched the movement of the drones, noting their patterns and timing, just as Sarah instructed. Each pulse of light, each shift in trajectory became a signal he could interpret. Somehow he understood it, not completely, but enough. Together they moved in synchrony. Sarah guided, Daniel observed, and the drones were gradually misdirected, scanning harmlessly into empty space. It was a delicate dance, and Daniel felt exhilarated. After a tense hour, the last drone disappeared, leaving no trace. Sarah exhaled a soft musical sound of relief. "They will report nothing. The shard is safe and Earth remains undisturbed." Daniel laughed softly, unable to contain himself. "We did it. We actually did it." Sarah smiled, the first genuine warmth he had seen on her face. "Yes, and you played an important role. Your calm, your attention, your willingness to trust, all of it contributed. That is why humans are remarkable." Daniel felt a strange mixture of pride and awe. He had faced the unknown, trusted an alien being, and contributed to a mission that spanned the stars. And through it all he realized something even more important. Humans, with all their imperfections, had potential beyond imagination. Sarah turned to him. "Soon I must return to my people. This mission is complete, but our connection remains." Daniel felt a pang of sadness. He had grown used to her presence, her guidance, her warmth. "Will I ever see you again?" he asked softly. Sarah's golden eyes gleamed with light. "Perhaps, when the time is right. The galaxy is vast and our paths may cross again. But remember this, humanity is ready. You are part of something greater than you know." As she prepared to leave, she placed a small hand on his shoulder. A faint energy flowed from her, not strong but comforting. "You have done well, Daniel. You have shown bravery, curiosity, and kindness, the traits that make your species extraordinary. Carry them forward." With that, she stepped into the shimmering blue light, and in a blink she was gone. Daniel floated alone in the station, the stars stretching endlessly around him. He felt changed. No longer was he an ordinary human living a quiet life on a small planet. He was part of something bigger, A story of observation, trust, and cosmic significance. The shard device pulsed softly as if echoing Sarah's words. He knew his life would never be the same. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders, challenges, and mysteries. But now he understood that humans, even small and seemingly ordinary, could stand among the stars. As the Earth turned below, a blue and green marble spinning silently in the void, Daniel made a quiet promise. He would carry Sarah's message and humanity's potential with pride. He would never forget that humans were extraordinary, capable of greatness beyond imagination, and for the first time in his life, Daniel felt truly awake, not just to the night but to the vast, limitless possibilities of the universe. The stars outside seemed to shine brighter almost in acknowledgement. Somewhere out there Sarah watched, somewhere out there humans would rise to their potential, and Daniel, small yet important, would carry the first spark of that awakening. The journey was only beginning,